وسلم وأصحاب الأجمعين وأمهات المؤمنين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My name is Saba Altaf, and I welcome you all into our evening classes, evening sessions of learning Quran together. And Alhamdulillah, we have started Surah Al-Waqiah last week. And tonight we will be doing part 2, inshallah. And there will be one more part to go, inshallah, next week. So I will do my recitation, inshallah. And we will be doing, starting from verse ayah number 41 till 74, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وأصحاب الشمال ما أصحاب الشمال في سموم وحميم وذل من يحموم لا بارد ولا كريم إنهم كانوا قبل ذلك مترفين وكانوا يصرون على الخنس العظيم وكانوا يقولون أإذا متنا وكنا ترابا وعظاما أإنا لمبعوثون أو آباؤنا الأولون قل إن الأولين والآخرين لمجموعون إلى ميقات يوم معلوم ثم إنكم أيها الضالون المكذبون لآكلون من شجر من زقوم فمالئون منها البطون فشاربون عليه من الحميم فشاربون شرب الهيم هذا نزلهم يوم الدين نحن خلقناكم فلولا تصدقون أفرأيتم ما تمنون أأنتم تخلقونه أم نحن الخالقون نحن قدرنا بينكم الموت وما نحن بمسبوقين على أن نبدل أمثالكم وننشئكم فيما لا تعلمون ولقد علمتم النشأة الأولى فلولا تذكرون أفرأيتم ما تحرثون أأنتم تزرعونه أم نحن الزارعون لو نشاء لجعلناه ختاما فظلتم تفكهون إن لمغرمون بل نحن محرومون أفرأيتم الماء الذي تشربون أأنتم أنزلتموه من المزن أم نحن المنزلون لو نشاء جعلناه أجاجا فلولا تشكرون أفرأيتم النار التي تورون أأنتم أنشأتم شجرتها أم نحن المنشئون نحن جعلناها تذكرة ومتاعا للمقوين فسبح فسبح باسم ربك العظيم. صدق الله العظيم. وربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Um, Inshallah, we will, as I said, we will be starting the second part of Surah Al-Waqi'ah. Now, I don't know, um, is there anybody that was available that listened to it last week? And there must be some people who are listening first time tonight. Now, would there be anybody who can get the mic and let us know just in few words, just what were the opening verses of Surah Al-Waqi'ah? What was it all about? What was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informing us in it? Does anybody remember anything? I'll go on the chat room as well, just to see. Nobody remembers? Okay. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. You're just being shy. I know. I would do the same sometimes. Um, the opening verses of Surah Al-Waqi'ah tells us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it gives us the picture of hereafter, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala putting the whole of the humanity into three groups. Now, does anybody remember those groups? That at least you should know. There were three groups that Allah.
I do.
Yeah, go on.
The ones who, the ones on the right,
Mm-hmm.
the ones on the left,
Yeah,
and the ones in front.
yeah, the
The one,
foremost, the sabiqun. I would sometimes call them the VVIPs. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So that's good. That's good. Now, we've done the two. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started with describing the sabiqun, and what type of level of Jannah they will be going to. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then gave this beautiful picture of Jannah. And the most special thing about the Sabiqun is that they live for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Their life, their death, their dealings, their happiness, their unhappiness, their friendship, their any being enemy of somebody is all for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they are the people who race with each other, who try to compete with each other to get more rewards and go closer to the Jannah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are the people who want to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not to do with Jannah or the hellfire. It's to do with meeting their Lord, and that's what their desires are. Although these specific things are not described in the verses, there are hadith, and when we read the extended explanation of these verses, we then understand what type of people the sabiqun, the foremost, the VIPs. Now, can anybody give me some of the people who could be, who will be, inshallah, who will be the sabiqun, the foremost? What type of people? Any idea? Who should we name? Such and such people, so and so's. I can help you with the first one. The first and foremost in the group of Sabiqun will be the prophets and the messengers, because when we see their lives, they have lived for the job that they were given. The love and the trust of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so much that you cannot match it with any other human being. So these are the ambiyas, the messengers, the prophets. Any idea anymore? Can you give any more example? So we've got messengers and prophets. What type of other people? Because they are not everybody is messenger and prophet. And the prophets coming, the prophet are finished now. There's no more prophets coming now. So do you think that the Sabiquns have finished now? There won't be any Sabiquns? No, there will be. Although, yeah, go on.
Sahaba Ikram.
Sorry, say loudly, please. I can't hear you.
Sahaba Ikram and
So
Tabi'in.
Ashab al-Ikram, that's right. So the messenger and the people with them, you cannot go better than any other human being than the people who were next to their prophets. Yeah. And then the martyrs, don't forget the shuhada, the person who has given his life even today, all the people who have died for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and for the sake of his religion are shuhada, and they will be among the sabiqun, of course. And then there is a nice long list of righteous people, people who have done good, people who work for the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in today's time. Okay, so that's Sabiqun. What type of people will be the Ashabul Yamin? Ashabul Yamin means the people of the right. Anybody remember what type of people in the group of people of the right?
Sadiqin.
Yes, Sadiqeen are the people who, who are testifying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I think Sadiqeens will be in the foremost group because Sadiqeen means that they have never lied and they have testified in all situations. Anybody else? Anybody? Oh, I don't know if people are writing. Yeah. Okay. For this group, for the people of the right.
Yes, some
Yeah, go on.
sisters have actually. Sister Shofa said truthful and early believers.
Yeah, truthful and early believers, that's right. But the early believers are the Sabiqun, remember? I'm now talking about, I'm not going to talk about any more of Sabiqun. I'm looking at the time as well. I'm now going to talk about, anybody remember, uh, people of the right? People of the right are the general body of Muslims. The general body of Muslim, both the truthful, the Sadiqeen, and Shuhada, and even the Sadiqeen, they are in the foremost group, in the VIP group. The people of the right are the general body of Muslims, and there are people who have worked hard to be good Muslims, but they have done sins here and there. You know, they have done sins, and when they do
There's
sin, they
also
try. Go on.
there's also Sister Shamima. She said children, and Sister Stacy is typing. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna wait a second to see what she's writing.
Okay. So the people of the right are the general body of people,
Okay,
general body of
sisters.
Muslims. I can read it now. I know I can read it. What ayah are we on? As I
Okay,
can't find these groups in Surah. This is sister. I don't know your name, sister. I'm sorry. We are doing tonight. We are doing from ayah number 41. But I'm talking about last week from the first ayah. So if you, I'm only repeating it for people who were not present last week. We did an hours of explanation, 1 hour explanation of the opening verses, and we are talking about the groups of people. So when when you start the Surah Al-Waqi'ah, you will find that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put the whole of the humanity into 3 groups: the VIPs, the sabiqun in Arabic, or the foremost, the forefront people. We've already described now. And then there is people of the right, ashabul yamin. So people of the right are general Muslims. They have made sins, but with the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they will be admitted into Jannah. They will be admitted into Jannah. However, they have to first pay the price of their sins. And may Allah make it easy on us. We also did a dua. Allahumma hasibni hisaban yasira. We did it last week because I have also shared, or have you shared the recordings? So those of you, I shared the recording so that people are able to listen. So may Allah make our accountability easy on us. Now, these ayats today, from 41 to 74, we're going to talk about now the people of the left, Ashabu Shimal, okay? And the people of the left, oh, how miserable will be the people of the left. Now, I must repeat another little explanation from last week. That is that in ancient Arabia of that time when they first received these verses, the custom was that if they wanted to honor and respect someone, they would make them sit on their right side, you know, the guests or other people that they want to honor. And if they want to disgrace and humiliate someone, then they would make them stand on their left side. And that also includes anybody that they believe has got ill omen as well. And this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is now using their custom in their language, telling them that in the courts of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the people of the left will, the people of the right will be honored, and the people of the left will be dishonored in the courts of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they will be in scorching heat and boiling water. Anybody who remembers Surah Ar-Rahman, we did last year this time, it describes that in the depth of hell, the people of the hell will be running between two hot points. One side will be hot and the other side will be even hotter. You know, it's very easy for me to just say it, you know, or to just type it or to write it. But can you even imagine watching a movie of this intensity? That people are trapped in a hot place and they go and they are very thirsty and they go from one end and it's boiling hot there. So they run away and go to the other end thinking that that will be slightly cooler, but it is even more hotter. And that's how this situation is. In the shade of black smoke, neither cool nor refreshing. Now, there is a dua that we should always recite. As soon as you reach the verses of hellfire while you're reading the Quran, stop and say this dua. Learn it or write it down somewhere. If you learn it, then you can also recite it in your sujood during your salah. Allahumma ajirni minan nar. Oh Allah, protect me from the fire. And here, fire means the fire of hell. If you want to include your family and friends in it, then you should say Allahumma ajirna minan nar. So na is for plural and ni is for singular, for yourself, not singular, for yourself. Indeed, before this torment, they were spoiled by luxury and persisted in the heinous of sins. Now, their prosperity had an adverse effect on them. Instead of being grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they had become deniers of his blessings, lost in pleasure, seeking, they're always seeking pleasure. They follow the shaitan and persisted in heinous sinning. When we are talking of Ashabu Shimal, the people of the right, there is no Muslim there. All the Muslims are now in the group of right. The best of them are in the foremost, and the general body is in the group of right, Ashabul Yamin, in the Yamin group. The Shimal group only have those people who do not believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know, heinous of sins, and they are living a life of following their desires. That's all they are living for today. Today, there is no tomorrow, for today, and just following their desires. Um, and when you are following your desires, you only want beauty and luxury. That's all you want. And they are lost in the pleasures. And when they are lost in so much pleasure, and when they are following any desire that they are pleased of, that means they're following the shaitan, because he is the one putting these desires in their hearts. Heinous of sins. When you do a sin on regular basis, it doesn't feel like sin. It's just you normalized it. Just like Israel like to normalize bombing Muslim countries, so that people say, oh yeah, they do it all the time. I just can't help but give such uh, um, examples, because they are right around you. Um, Heinous of sins is disbelief in Allah. Anybody wants to contribute in what type of heinous of sins? The top of the list is disbelief in Allah. The second most important on top of the list is associating partners with him. I would want you to guess the third important one. What is the third most important sin? Heinous sin, not important, heinous sin, in this in the Ashabul Shimal's list of sins, heinous sins. Any idea? It's right in front of you. It's everywhere. It is one of the most. It is one of this belief is one of the most. Is the biggest rival against Islam. Not really. No, killing was always there. It's nothing new, and sexual sins were always there. Remember Lut alayhi salam and all the LGBTs of his time. I'm talking and referring about atheism, totally negating Allah. There is no God. That's it. The other ones, the disbelievers and the one associating partners, at least believe in him, and then they associate partners, but and they disbelieve in his commands. They don't want to have the responsibility of following his commands. But then these days, the most bigger group in any belief in the West, and it's going in the East as well, as fast as the fire in the jungle, is the atheism. And then I would say long list of all other heinous and grave sins of morality and conduct. What you wrote down, Sis Shofa and Rim, they come under morality and conduct. And yes, there are long lists of these sins. But the most top of the list, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that Allah with his immense mercy can forgive you for anything apart from the associating partners with him, negating his very existence, and disbelieving in his commands. Okay. They used to mockingly say, when we are dead and reduced to dust and bones, will we be really resurrected? And our forefathers as well? Say, O Prophet, most certainly earlier and later generations will surely be gathered together for the appointed day. Now, as I explained last week, this was one of the major issues of the mushrik of Mecca, the polytheist of Mecca, to accept the hereafter. They just could not get it. How, when we will be finished, Allah will make us rise again and we will be alive just as we are alive now, and then the process of accountability. They would totally negate and ignore the accountability. Why? Because they didn't want to get into the responsibility of obeying. Then you, O misguided deniers, will certainly eat from the fruits of the trees of Zaqqum, filling up your bellies with it. What is Zaqqum? Zaqqum is a cursed tree described as growing in the depths of hell. It is rooted in the very heart of bottom of hell. Unlike earthly trees, it is described as being created from the nourishment by the fire of hell. Its wood does not burn like the trees in this world, in this earth, their wood would burn. Its fruit is particularly repulsive, just like the heads of the devil. I think there is a hadith, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, there is a hadith of explaining the zakum, and the fruit is like the devil's heads are hanging around the tree. Then on top of that, you will drink boiling water, and you will drink it like thirsty camel do. This will be their accommodation on the day of judgment. Allahumma ajarna minan nar. May Allah save us from the torment of hell. Do you know the day of accountability? When Allah's courts will all be open and we will be admitted one after the other. It is of 50,000 years long. And can you imagine not eaten for a long time and had nothing to drink for a long time? What would be the state of people who will then shoved in the hellfire? They are ready to eat those devil-looking fruits because they just cannot, they can't cope with the hunger pangs and the thirst. Their tongues are all out because of sheer heat and the amount of perspiration they have lost, and they are ready to drink that boiling water. They've got no choice. Allahumma jarna minan nar. May Allah save us and our children to come and our generation. May Allah save all these sisters sitting in this group. Save us from the torment of hell, Ya Allah, and make us enter the Jannah. Now the surah takes a different turn from ayah number 57. Just like the Surah Rahman has a repetition style, remember it has a repeating style. It keep repeating. Just like that, in this surah, Allah keep on asking rhetorical question, and keep on answering them in a very different style, and we will know. Quran is a perfect form of speech, and right contents matches the right style for the right group of people. That is the miracle of Quran, and this is the style of Quran. Of course, its audience is human beings. What is the difference between the human intellect and an animal intellect? Now, men will get knowledge of something, and then just a sign is enough for him to suss out the rest. Just the sign. Were you present thousands of years ago when they discovered the pyramids and the surrounding archaeological sites of surrounding, the whole cities of pharaohs. Were you there? Was I there? No. But we believe because we have seen the evidence. Just the sign is enough. You don't have to be traveling back in time. And that is only with man, not with animal. This intellect is exclusive to man, you know. Whereas animals, for animals, seeing is believing. For example, a human being would try to exit a building where there is a fire alarm going on because the human being knows what the fire alarm means. The animal has to be trained to do so. But if you get an animal from jungle, there are very few alarms that he knows by nature, very few. The rest he has to see it. He has to see the fire. He has to probably experience the intense heat, or he has to probably go through the smoke and realize that it's not safe. I have to get myself out. And that's what the animal characteristic is, style is. However, all through the history of man, whenever the prophets put forward the introduction of their Lord and Creator, the people turn away, saying, we cannot accept it as we cannot see him. We can't see God. We will only believe things when we see them. We don't know what the Jannah and the hellfire is. We've never been there. From Ayah 57, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now puts forward all the arguments of Tawheed. This is Tawheed, the oneness of Allah. Not just the oneness of Allah, his divinity, his creativity, and his attributes all together is Tawheed. Now, Ayah number 57, Allah put forward all the arguments of Tawheed that people could see on daily basis and invite them to contemplate and ponder over them. It is we who created you. Will you not then believe in resurrection? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started with the first question that about them saying that how can that be possible that a person who is dead and gone and finished can be resurrected again. So they just could not understand that. Why don't you believe that your true God and creator is only one Allah, one God? He created you for first time and he is able to put you together again. All they have to understand that this creator created us from nothing, and he can do that again. In all these ayats, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay, there's another thing I wrote down here is you will find all these ayats on the argument of Tawheed starts with nahnu. Nahnu means we. Okay. Now, nahnu, we is used for plural. We as more than two people. In Arabic, it's more than two people, and in any other language, it's more than one person. Okay. But here, whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the we, it is the royal we. It's the royal we. It's not that there is any chance or any form of plural or two gods or anything like that. So don't get confused. Have you ever considered what you ejaculate? Is it you who create a child out of it, or is it we who do so? What role man have in the formation and development of fetus, then becoming a baby? Not only physically, but his intellect and emotion. What role man play in it? Man's got a very little part to play, and khalas, that's it. He's done with. The rest is all in Allah's hand. Not even mother can do much about it. She can eat well, no, she can look after her health, that's that. But she has no control over what and how her baby will be. Now, if a person is a little bit sensible and put away his arrogance aside, he himself will realize that no rational and reasonable answer can be given in the argument of polytheism and atheism. The only rational and reasonable answer is that man is entirely creation of one God. So when this is the reality, then what right this man have, who himself is vulnerable and have no control on his own creation and his well-being, to claim freedom and independence as against his creator, or serve other creators beside him, create some other creators beside him. And obviously, when he accepts God and his soul, that God is his sole creator, then he has to accept that nothing in this world is forever. Therefore, he has no choice but to return to his creator eventually. You know, so um, when man knows that he's got no choice in his own creation, how can he be then? He creates other gods or totally deny him. When creating other gods, the people who worship sun, do they really believe that sun has helped them have a child? Not really. Deep inside, they know that our child was not given by sun. Our child was given by the one who created this world. They all know that. And that's why they're called disbelievers. No? Disbeliever means you know the reality, but you cover it, or you pretend you don't want to know it, you know. And then atheism. Atheism is totally negating the very existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you negate the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, basically you are negating the whole of the tawheed, everything, everything. You have to negate your own self and then say, maybe we are not living in a real world. We are living in a matrix world, you know. Uh, I'll tell you a story. I'm looking at the time, and yes, I do have a little time. I'm going to tell you this story uh, for us to understand when dealing with atheists, you know. Um, Let me look for my story first. Oh, yeah, there it is. Sorry. Now, this story is of Imam Abu Hanifa. I don't have any slides for it, so we're going to stay on these ayats. The story is of a great scholar and Imam in the history of Islam called Abu Hanifa, and an atheist man. And the time is hundreds of years back, and the city is Baghdad, which is the capital now, the capital of Iraq. And during the time of Imam Abu Hanifa, there was a Muslim Khalif, leaders of the believing people, residing in Baghdad. So one day, a foreigner came to the city of Baghdad, and he went to a group of Muslims, and then he went to the city, the market area, and he declared that he believes that there is no God. There is no God. He said, God does not exist. It's all in your mind. You have created him. And he said, when people got becoming annoyed with him, he said, hold on, hold on, hold on. I'm ready to debate with your best scholar. You know, go and get your best scholar, and I'm ready to debate, and I will show you how I will smash this belief of yours right in your face. People were ready to kill him, but they decided that's not that's not a good idea. So they took him to the Caliph, to the leader in the palace. The Caliph, after speaking to him, announced that there will be a debate tonight. He sent um, um, a, a, a messenger, his servant, to the other side of the city. Now, if you see the city of Baghdad, it's divided into two with a river running between. The other side of the city, this Imam Abu Hanifa lived inside the old city, whereas all the palaces and the government offices were on the other side of the city. So this young messenger went quickly. They said the the Caliph said that we will do this debate after Maghrib Salah. When the Maghrib Salah, everybody gathers. So people were getting very excited. There was this word spreading that this stranger has come, a foreigner has come, and Abu Hanifa is being informed, and he will be here. So people gathered to watch the showdown as the night approached. The debate was supposed to be after the sunset, but Imam was late. In fact, he was very late. Everybody was waiting for him. The atheist was enjoying the Muslim anxiety. He laughed and said, if your best debater can't even keep up his appointment and even disobey his own leader, what good he is to win this debate with me? There's no hope. But at last, as people were getting very, very disappointed, they saw Abu Hanifa running towards to the court inside. And they said, oh, there he is, there he is. The Caliph, who was quite annoyed, demanded, why are you so late, Abu Hanifa? How could you keep us all waiting for so long? Imam Abu Hanifa asked very politely, Your Majesty, I am ever so sorry, but if you forgive me and let me tell you my excuse. He said, yeah, go on, tell us your excuse. What was your excuse? He said, Your Majesty, on the way from my home to the palace, you know that I have to catch a boat to get this side of the city. So I waited the entire evening for a boat, but none came. Now the atheist started the argument saying, all right, if no ferry arrived whole evening, then how did you get there? Imam Abu Hanifa continued, I'm glad you asked this question, young man. As I was waiting by the river, I saw some logs and planks floating through the water and coming towards me at the riverside. Then I saw some trees shedding their flexible branches, and the branches floated towards the planks and started intervening themselves, making a makeshift raft. By now, I was the only one left at the riverside. I was shocked, but I climbed the raft with some hesitation. It then started sailing towards the opposite side until it stopped next to the riverbank. I stepped out to the dry land and came running to the palace. By now, the atheist was having fits of laughter. He said, I had heard that you are the most brilliant, wise, and knowledgeable man among the Muslims, but you have made clear to all of us that today that you are nothing like that. Some of the crowd were also disappointed, and they started, moving and saying, is that the best Imam Sahib could do? But others waited with trust. They trusted Imam Abu Hanifa of his wittiness and knowledge. The Imam wanted to confirm and said to the atheist, so you don't believe that some random logs and planks can float and some random trees can cut their branches and together they can create a strong raft that sail without any operator or sailor? You don't believe that? He said, of course I don't believe a word of what you said. The atheist said that. Abu Hanifa then concluded politely, if you can't accept that a simple boat can create and operate itself, how can you believe that the whole world and the entire universe, the sun, the moon, the earth, and the sea, the animals, the plants, all and your own existence all came by themselves and continued functioning until today with precision and with no flawless? The atheist was speechless and lost his argument. I cut it down, to save my time. The idea, although a lot of prominent scholars have related this story throughout the history, but I've not found anything authentic about it, anybody giving any authentic reference. It doesn't matter. A story is a story. We are not discussing it to determine the history. We are discussing it to learn something from it. That nature around you tells you about your Lord, about your creator. And you know what they say? They say only intelligent people find the creator. The dumb people would not be able to find the creator. No. I mean, this is just a saying between the scholars. Okay, going back to our right. We have ordained death for all of you, and we cannot be prevented from transforming and recreating you in forms unknown to you. You already know how you were first created. Will you not then be mindful? When it says that we will create you in a way that you will not recognize yourself, it means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the creator, and he's got the power to create you next time the way he wants it, not necessarily the way you were. Because we've already discussed last week that everybody, at least in Jannah, everybody will be young and beautiful and elegant. So whatever shape and form and features we had in this world, whatever we have in this world, in the next world, the foremost and the group of right group will be young and beautiful and graceful and breathtakingly beautiful. We've already discussed that last week. But the people of the right, they will be ugly. They'll be really ugly. They could be the most beautiful people in this world. People have worshipped them because of their beauty, but they will become extremely ugly. So that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala means. These verses are reminders of Allah's ultimate power over life and death and his ability to create and recreate beings in a way that are beyond human comprehension. Simple as that. The argument now moves on from the creation of man to the creation of things around him. Have you considered what you saw? Is it you who cause it to grow, or is it we who do so? Allah now reminding the disbelievers that just as their own creation, the human effort is nothing more than father casting sperm into mother. So in the supply of provision, human effort is nothing more than a farmer sowing seed in the soil. The land in which you cultivate is not made by you. The wind, the rain, the right temperature are not in your control. Then when reality is that you came to being only by his creation, and are being sustained only by his provision, then what right you have to rebel against him and declare partners with him, subhanallah. Okay, we carry on. Yes, I'm looking at the time as well. Now the argument changes into a threatening style. There's a slightly threatening style here. If we will, we could simply reduce this harvest to shafts, leaving you to lament, oh, we have truly suffered a great loss. Oh, in fact, we have been deprived of our livelihood. We are ruined. Now, the point here is that you spend lifetime to look after your land, but you cannot actually protect it from any torment sent by Allah. This is how helpless you are. Now, this is what these ayats are telling the arrogant people, at least the arrogant people of Mecca at that time, and then all the generation up till the day of resurrection. Have you considered the water you drink? Is it you who bring it down from the clouds, or is it we who do so? If we will, we could make it salty. Will you not then give thanks? Water is another manifestation of Allah's power and wisdom. Water has got so many wonderful properties. But one of the property among all these wonderful properties, one is that no matter how much you put anything in water, mix it with anything, with salt or anything, when it becomes vapor, when it becomes steam and vapor and it goes back up for to the sky for the rain, it leaves all the adulteration behind, and it goes only in its purest form. If Allah wanted, the vapors could have had the salt in it. A small little thing left by Allah, a tiny little thing. Let's not bother with the water thing. Let man sort it out. We would have been ruined. There would have been no vegetation. It'll be salt everywhere. Okay, and can you imagine such precision is done by nobody? It just happens. Water and when it goes back, it goes in its purest form so that it comes down in its purest form. All this precise and happening since billions of years. There was not a single day that the sun said, I had enough of these people. I'm not going to coming out. No. Nothing. Everything is working in the most precise and flawless manner. Anybody can do that. It has to be a supreme creator, and it has to be just one creator. Otherwise, there would have been arguments or you can see problems happening in nature. Have you considered the fire you kindle? Is it you who produce its trees, or is it we who do so? We have made it as a reminder as a reminder, that is the reminder of hellfire, and a provision for the traveler. There are two things. A traveler, just a normal traveler, like if you remember, Musa alayhi salam was traveling in the Palestine area, and he saw fire, and he said, let me go to his wife, let me go and see if there is anybody who can direct us to the right direction, and maybe I can bring some fire for us to get warm. So one is for traveler, that the fire is needed. The other meaning is we are all travelers in this dunya, and so fire is so important for us. That is one of, like water, fire is also very, very important for us. And these verses uses the example, simple example of fire to illustrate Allah's power and his provision for humanity. And they demand us to stop and reflect on the countless blessings of Allah, even in the simplest of things. And the last but not least, the beautiful ayah of Fasabbih bismi rabbikal azim. So glorify the name of your Lord, the greatest. Allah the Most High is free from all human defects and faults and weaknesses. We should know that, He is above his creation. The minute we make him among us, he is not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sadaqallahu al-Azim wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Jazakumullah khair, my dear sisters. We've got just few minutes, and get ready for your quiz. Okay. And we got to do it quickly. The people of the left are those who are poverty-stricken and always struggle financially. The people of the left, Ashabu Shimal. The people of the left are those who are poverty-stricken and always struggling financially. True or false? Okay, one person said false, the other person said true, then the person said false. Okay, I'm going to finish here. It is false. It's not true because we've just described the people of Shimal. Today we describe the people of Shimal. They are not that type of people who were poor. I've explained they could be very rich people. They are the people who disbelieve in Allah and who totally negate his very existence. Those are the people of Shimal. Okay. Heinous sinning includes disbelief, polytheism, and every grave sin of morality and conduct. Fill in the blank. The heinous sins include disbelief, which is, kufr, polytheism, which is shirk, one person. Anybody else? Anybody else trying? One person's already given. Do you agree with her or you don't agree with her? No, we're doing agree or, you need to fill the gap with the word. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Agree. Atheist. Yeah. Atheist. Sinning include disbelief, polytheism, atheist, and every grave sin of morality and conduct. Although the polytheists of Makkah believed in the Islamic concept of hereafter, but they were shy to talk about it. True or false? True or false? The polytheists of Makkah, the first people who received these ayats, they believed in the Islamic concept of hereafter, but they were very shy to talk about it. False. They were not shy to talk about it, and they never believed, They totally disbelieve. They just could not get it, the concept of the hereafter. So they totally ignored and rejected it. In the argument of Tawheed, the only rational and reasonable answer is that man is entirely creation of one God. True or false? Come on, you should know that. In the argument of Tawheed, the only rational and reasonable answer is that man is entirely creation of one God. True. That's it. It is true. We are the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's about it. Oh, one more. Water leaves all adulteration behind and evaporates only in its original form. You should know that. I've just done it. I don't know if Sister Kamni is doing the previous one true or this one. Water leaves all adulteration behind when it evaporates in its pure form. That's it. Good girls. True. And that's it. Jazakumullah khair. Good. That was very good of you. Mostly done very well. And inshallah, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik nashhadu la ilaha illa ant nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to put us in the foremost group Even if we are not worthy of the foremost group, we are allowed to pray the best. Are we worthy of Al-Firdaus, Jannatul Firdaus? We are always saying, may Allah give you Jannatul Firdaus. I don't think we are worthy of any of the Jannah. It is only through the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we plead and ask His mercy. His mercy is way, way, way more than our sins altogether. All of us together, all the sins we have done throughout our lives and will carry on doing, I hope less. Even then, His mercy is greater. We ask Him, we plead Him that we believe in Him. At least we should be given this much, that we believe in Him. Oh Allah, have mercy on us and do not let us deviate after you have given us the hadayah and the guidance. And make our children the people of the foremost, and make us the people of the foremost, oh Allah. And if we are in the people of the right, then, oh Allah, have your mercy and let us go through in the most easiest of accountability. Allahumma hasibni hisaban yasira. Allahumma jarna minan nar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Inshallah, next session, we will be doing the last group and the last part of this great surah, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah khairan.
Barakallah fi. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.